tons of new Utah Jazz rumors, draft rumors, trade rumors. Let's talk about them. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, there's a lot today for the Utah Jazz, and it's only going to get more and more as the draft comes. So let's try and get through all these rumors today, just so you know what's going on. Let's just start from the top. The Utah Jazz have shown some interest in guard Landry Shamet from the Washington Wizards. This comes from Hoops Hype. Apparently, there are multiple teams looking at possibly picking up Landry Shamet, including the Utah Jazz. This is somewhat interesting, although Landry Shamet is at best an ancillary player, so I don't know if there's really too much here to really talk about. If the Jazz go after Landry Shamet, it's basically just to bring on a veteran player that can help guide their young players. If the Jazz are looking to win a lot of games, I don't know if Landry Shamet is doing that much. Part of why he's on the Washington Wizards lost so many games, Landry Shamet wasn't changing much for them there, so I don't really think there's much to that. The next rumor has to do with Kris Dunn. And by the way, these are just going to be rapid fire today. We'll talk about a little bit of them. There's some that are interesting, including something with the Lakers and with the Brooklyn Nets. But anyways, one of the players that the Suns might be interested in with Utah is Kris Dunn. Evan Sidery, well, this actually comes from Draft Express, but rival executives are pegging Kris Dunn to the Suns as a possible free agent. I personally would be really bummed with this because it looks like the Suns might be able to get a veteran minimum offer to Kris Dunn, and since the Suns want to win, he might be interested in joining the likes of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So it would be a bummer to see Kris Dunn. And then it makes sense if that does happen. Utah talking to Landry Shamet makes a little bit of sense to replace that depth with Kris Dunn leaving. Even if the Jazz aren't interested in winning next year, if that's one of the plans they end up going with, you still need players on the roster, and you'd still like to have some veterans on the floor to help guide the youth on the Jazz. All right, next from Jonathan Givony from ESPN today, Utah is said to be active in trade talks both with this pick and potentially, and they're talking about the 10 pick, both with this pick, the 10, and potentially looking to package the numbers 29 and 32 picks to move up into the late teens. The Jazz are being mentioned with center and point guard prospects and might be open to moving around some, depending on how the draft evolves. Givony also gives the Jazz Nikola Topic in his latest big board number 10 pick, which would be an interesting pick to Utah. We've seen a lot of rumors for this, and we know that Utah, and this came from Jake Fisher in his latest article, that the Jazz tried to trade up from number 9. It didn't happen, but they did try. So, whether the Jazz are actually able to trade up is what, if they want to trade up, that's one thing. But if they're able to, that's a whole other story. And it takes two to want that trade to happen. But this next rumor, including all these different rumors from the Lakers, makes it seem like that might be actually really possible. And there are multiple options for the Utah Jazz to possibly trade up. The one that comes from Jonathan Givony talking about the Lakers, he says here, the Lakers likely will explore the trade market to see what type of veterans they can add to give LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and new coach JJ Redick the best chance of competing this season, with NBA names such as DeJounte Murray and Collin Sexton being batted around by rival teams as possible trade targets. So it looks like the Lakers are interested in Collin Sexton. The Jazz aren't just giving Collin Sexton to the Lakers because they want him. We'll see what the Jazz want in return, but there are some rumors here that make it seem like the Jazz are actually talking to the Lakers about maybe that number 17 pick. So here in this article from Jake Fisher today, it says there remains a simpler scenario in which the Lakers move down from the number 17 pick. The New York Knicks and Utah Jazz have made advances about combining their last first-round pick and second-round draft capital to slide Utah's number 29 and 32 picks to be enough to entice the Lakers to fall back from their original slot. So there, I didn't read that very well, but it looks like the Jazz are trying to trade that 29 and 32 to possibly move up to 17. Now, why would the Lakers do that? Well, the Utah Jazz could give them those picks, and that would give them the chance to both get a pick in this draft and also along with Bronny James, because we know that the Lakers want to take Bronny James. And if you'll remember, about a little over a month ago, we heard reports that Kristen Peak of Yahoo Sports saying the Jazz were interested in possibly taking Bronny James with maybe they're at 29 and 31, that they'd be interested in doing that at 31. Did the Utah Jazz put out that report or leak that to Kristen Peak to spook the Lakers into doing a trade like this today? It certainly seems like it. Utah could move up to 17, get a better player. They don't bring in 3 rookies, they bring in 2, but 2 better rookies. But it also allows the Lakers to take Bronny James. They don't have to worry about someone getting him, because I believe the Lakers only have their 55 pick in the second round. They have 17 and 55. And it sounds like there's enough teams out there possibly interested in Bronny James that they don't want to risk it. So the Utah Jazz have a little bit of leverage here, and maybe they can give 2 picks to the Lakers, albeit a 29 and a 31, but that gives the Lakers a chance to get Bronny James, and then Utah moves up. And it does make it seem like the Utah Jazz might have tried to spook the Lakers by doing that, which is a smart move by Utah. I would not be surprised if Utah moves up from those 29 and 32. They're obviously talking to a lot of teams. One of the biggest trade rumors, though, that comes out of this Jazz, this article from Jake Fisher, is that the Jazz look to be one of the teams interested in trading for Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. In this article, Jake Fisher says, so what could be the next big swing on the Jazz's radar? Brooklyn Nets swingman Mikal Bridges, according to league sources, is a player to monitor among Utah's most aggressive aspirations. The Jazz are said to be right in the mix with Houston, holding the number 3 pick, and New York, where 3 of Bridges' college teammates currently play, among the teams that continue to check with Brooklyn about availability. The Jazz have substantial salaries for veterans John Collins and Jordan Clarkson to send out in any possible deal, in addition to trading into their own cap room. So, sounds like the Jazz are interested in Mikal Bridges. Is this the big game hunting pick that we had heard about from Danny Ainge in his post-game presser? Certainly seems like it. Utah is looking to make some sort of trade, and that might be it. So, you guys, let me know in the comments, is Mikal Bridges what you would like to do? Would you rather just trade up in the draft and go young? Is there anything else you would like to see the Jazz do? Let me know in the comments what you would do. By the way, let me know. I finally got a background up. No more just a plain white wall. I had some stuff in my office at work I forgot to bring home, so I put up as much Jazz stuff as I could. We got Gizmo up there, right there. We got Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, although I didn't realize that the green might, he might be fading out with green screen stuff. I gotta maybe take that off. Anyways, guys, I'm excited to see what the Jazz do. We got like 3 days left till the NBA draft. I'm excited. If you're a Jazz fan and you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what are you doing? I will talk to you next time.